Hello and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. It's a glitch here, and I have set a goal to kill creatively a Kerbal on Duna. Now, if you haven't played Kerbal Space Program, this won't make much sense to you. If you haven't played it, I really suggest going to Scott Manley's page on YouTube. He's got a bunch of tutorial stuff, and he can explain it way better than I can. Basically, it's a game where you build your own spaceships and you muck around in space with semi-realistic physics and stuff. The orbital mechanics and stuff are pretty good. They're not perfect, but they are pretty good. Atmospheric stuff needs some work, and I hear that the next update will include that, but that's neither here nor there for this challenge. Now, I have recently gone to a website, and I'll have to look at what that website is here really quick. It's scenariogenerator.net. Link in description. And that is a really cool place. If you've run out of if you've played a lot of a game and you're kind of burnt out on it and want a new challenge, or just want a challenge, you go to this website and you select one of the games. They have, I want to say 20 games that it works for. Like Civ 5 and Kerbal Space Program, obviously, a couple of others. And it sets a game kind of inside another game. And the one it gave me was, it didn't say land on Duna, it said the location had to be Duna. And then it also wanted me to kill a Kerbal creatively, and I thought that was perfect for my first installment of Kerbal Space Program on my channel. I love this game. It is great. It's going to be even better when it's done. It's currently in beta. It just entered beta, in fact. And I've had a lot of fun with this game. I think there's something about just building a rocket and fiddling around with all of the parts in order to make it work just right, and docking things in orbit, and going to different planets and moons and stuff. I've kind of hidden how I'm going to kill the Kerbal in this particular vessel, because I don't want you guys to know yet until I land. I had originally recorded the entire flight to Duna, but it was all lost. So instead of just starting over, I decided, well, I'm already at Duna, I'll just land and show them the most exciting bit, which is, of course, the actual job of it. I built this rocket, I think I could have been more efficient with it. The launch stage, anyway. I think it's pretty good, though. I got here, anyway. I'm unfortunately on a slope. And you'll see here in just a second why I'm upset about that, besides the obvious risk of tipping over kind of thing. But at this point, I decide... I quick save, first of all. Lots of quick saving, because it doesn't make for very good entertainment if I have to start all over every single time. Some people will think I'm cheating with quick saving. I think, feature in the game, it's a good thing. You can restrict it now, actually. There's a bunch of various ways you can make the game more difficult on yourself, and the game is already ridiculously difficult. The learning curve on this game is immense, but worth it, in my opinion. Let's see. Okay, so at this point I decide, alright, I've reset the parachutes if I need to activate them in emergency, and I can now go down the hill a ways and land on a flatter spot. And there it goes. Already kind of lost control there. Turn the other way. There we go. I'm doing this in post because Kerbal Space Program, while very fun to play, is not very fun to watch live, in my opinion. And I decide, I better land really quick there, because I was going all over the place. But I lose control, and I knew I was going to tip over. And, I fall over anyway. And quick load. I apologize, by the way, for the lag in this particular video. It's FRAPS. I usually get anywhere between 50 and 60 frames per second, unless my ship is very gratuitous. But with FRAPS, I sometimes dip down to like 3, depending. Oh, sneak peek there of what this thing will do. So again, just to remind you, whole point of this is to creatively kill a Kerbal on Duna. I decided on Duna instead of in orbit around Duna. Might have been easier to do what I have planned in orbit, but wouldn't have been as much fun. It's about this point where I realize, oh no, the ladders, the extendable ladders that I had built previously are no longer there. I don't know what happened. I think when I went back to the drawing board, I forgot to re-put them on there, because they were backwards initially. So I guess no ladders works? I wanted 2 Kerbals out, so I decided to get everyone out of the capsule, and that guy burning down to the ladder gives me an idea. I decide to send the other Kerbal, I'm sorry, I don't know their names, around and have him fly, get on the ladder, and then have the guy I just took out, who reminded me of their jetpacks, get back into the capsule. Which is easier said than done, as you can see. He's having issues, you know, leg cramps. He's been in the capsule for, oh geez, I don't even know how long. The timer resets after a quick save, I guess. Probably at least, well no, because I had to wait in orbit for a while, probably at least a year or so in that little capsule with just his friends to occupy his time. And snacks. Of course. Kerbals love their snacks. There we go, the reveal. Gotta get this guy to safety first, though. Okay, so at this point I think I can describe to you what my plan is. I'm sending this guy up a ways, and then activating the parachutes, which doesn't work. So my initial plan won't work. I was going to shoot a Kerbal into the bottom of the capsule, and if that wasn't going to work, which I had a sneaking suspicion it wouldn't, that I would instead send a Kerbal into another Kerbal using the giant rocket on the top of that little base over there. The Kerbal Killer Probe, as it has been named by the game. I named the ship Kerbal Killer, and then, obviously, it renamed the probe to match. I think it's kind of a cool design. Have to get everyone in position, but once that happens, it works pretty well. And he's having a good time. Get the other guy ready. At this point, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen. I guess if you haven't played the game, you wouldn't know, but you would think that he's going to get incinerated. That is in fact not the case. I deactivate the engine, and then ready to activate it, and fire it like I just did. There he goes. Get the other guy into position quickly. And do it a second time. It's at this point I realize that once an object goes past 2.5 kilometers away from your parent object, it is immediately deleted. That's no fun. Not fun. I didn't think it happened with Kerbals, though, so I'm not entirely sure what happened to them. Maybe they did collide. But I decided that that wasn't good enough. That would not be the conclusion to my creatively killing a Kerbal, even though they likely died horrible deaths. Frustrated at how the last one turned out, I totally forgot to release a Kerbal onto the probe. And decide, well, the other guy was able to fly. Maybe this guy can too. And in fact he is. He's continuing to go up. As I use the jets to go further and further up. I don't mean to, so I switch directions until I'm falling again. Let him fall a little bit. Explosions galore, and of course I missed it, because I'm a terrible cameraman. Oh well. And we have the jets going full force. At this point, I'm pretty sure he's gonna die. And... oh no, he survived. And broke the game. Lovely. It was so broken, in fact, that I had to exit out of everything. FRAPS, Audacity, the game. Luckily, I had quick saved it, so I could go back to this point, and... yeah, even the Space Center's broken. Apparently a Kerbal surviving that impact broke all of the laws of nature. Eventually I got it reset up. Thank goodness for quick saves. Always save your games, folks. You'd be utterly disappointed otherwise. At this point I don't care what happens to the capsule or the other Kerbals. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to creatively kill this particular Kerbal. Whose name I'm sure you've seen by now. I've neglected to look at it. Not from actual neglect, but more so out of forgetfulness. I think he's ready for his maiden voyage. He seems excited, at least. That's all you can ask for, I guess. Keep your Kerbals happy. Keep your spaceships going. Here we go. Here we go. He actually got friction heating there for a second. He looks a little bit more concerned now, as you can probably tell. I was utterly surprised at how far this Kerbal made it into space. You'll see it in just a second, but he's probably, at least in my Kerbal save, the farthest flying Kerbal without a spaceship ever. In fact, I know he is. What is that? 67 kilometers? That's pretty good. I mean, he got some distance. So maybe not the most creative way to kill a Kerbal, but I did send him into a suborbital flight, and after landing on Duna, mind you, with a rocket by himself, so it's somewhat creative at least. Down he goes, falling ever fast. He is really not happy anymore. Oh, I think he's accepted his fate. That or he's gone insane. He's completely content. He knows what's gonna happen, and he's accepted it. Now he's remembering that he left the stove on. And his cat... Oh,